All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back for lesson 4.3, primarily 4.4, day 2. So the whole purpose of this lesson is to try and get our standard form equation into a slope-intercept form so that I can do the graphing just like we practiced the other day on day 1. So if you notice, I do not have y equals mx plus b. So the little note there says we need to get the equation into slope-intercept form. And this is actually connected to what we just did on your most recent quiz. There was just one simple problem asking you to solve for y. And we practiced it a little bit, kind of a preview for what we're going to do right now, more in depth. Again, to get y alone, isolate y, solve for y, I need to move that x. So I want to get the x away. So I'm going to go ahead and ask you to move the x term by subtracting. Now, if it helps you, you are allowed, because it is work, allowed to write a little 1 here. So in other words, we're going to subtract 1x on both sides. Now, 2y is positive, so I don't have to be as careful there. Please do not do 6 subtract 1x. That's not going to help anybody because those are unlike terms. So I currently have 2y is equal to, and you can put a little 1 there if you like to, negative 1x plus 6. So our first step again was to move the x, then we divide. And we're going to divide by whatever the coefficient of y is. Well, it's the 2, right? It's the 2 in front of the y. So like we tried before, we're going to divide at the y, at the x, and at the 6. Everything gets divided by 2. So if I do that, my 2y divided by 2 is really 1y, or just y equals, and that's what we want. The negative 1 over 2, it stays the same, right? And then finally, 6 divided by 2 is 3. Now that I have the equation fully simplified, I'm going to go ahead and practice it just like I did on example E. M is equal to, well, what's my slope? The slope, remember, is in front of the x, coefficient of x, so it's negative 1/2. I put the negative sign up top, makes it a little bit easier for me. The y-intercept is 0, 3. So if you notice, this is going to be a downhill line. It's a proper fraction, which means it's not going to be too steep. And it starts at the y-axis at positive 3. So let's go ahead and do that. On the y-axis, my starting point is 0, 3. Let me get my arrow ready. So according to the slope, it says negative 1 over 2. So my rise is negative 1, so I'm going to count down 1 box and write 1, 2. I'm going to go down 1 box, write 1 and 2. If you want to do it, you could keep going. If you want to practice the backwards counting, that would be here, and you would go up 1, left 1, 2. Because again, they would still line up. The backwards counting is really just confirming that it's lining up to give you a nice linear equation. Because remember, that's a line. All right, got my 3, got my arrows with the line, and my original equation. Maybe you want to put a little comment there on your notes. Use original equation. And again, the reason we do that is because we want to make sure that we're practicing good skills for high school. In chapter 5, we're going to have 2 lines instead of just 1 line, so we're labeling it correctly. All right, same step. Move the x, then divide. Notice the y coefficient is negative 5. Got to be a little bit more careful. Move the x, subtract 2x. Negative 5y, because again, it says negative 5y. Divide everything by the coefficient of y. It's negative 5, so I got to divide everything by negative 5. If I do that, I get y is equal to, look at the x part. A negative divided by a negative is a positive. 2 over 5, nothing can reduce there. The back, a positive divided by a negative. Negative. 10 divided by 5 is a 2, so the back is really a negative 2. So I have this as my slope-intercept form equation. Remember, it's the y equals mx plus b. All right, I'm going to go ahead and label my slope. M is equal to 2 over 5. and b, or my y-intercept, is 0, -2. So remember, I start with my y-intercept, which is the b. That's on the y-axis. Then I do my slope. My slope is a proper fraction, 2/5, so that means it's not going to be steep. Oh, look at it. Nice big grid this time. So starting point is 0, -2. So from the origin, don't go left or right. Count down to 1, 2. Let me change that, make it a little bit brighter for us. Ooh, maybe a highlighter. And I don't like that. It's always the first point, it seems like, right? All right, then I'm going to do my slope. My slope again tells me up 2. So up 1, 2, right 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Boom. There we go. Then we do it again. Up 2, right 5. That would be up 1, 2, right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And again, the reason I'm counting up is because it's a positive slope. The reason I'm going right 5 is because that's the run. If you were to do backwards counting, that would be down 1, 2, left 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then it would still line up. Remember, I want a linear equation. It has to be a nice line. So in other words, if you're graphing your line and it doesn't come out as a line, it's kind of like a zigzag, then you definitely know you did something wrong. There we go. Edge to edge, arrows, original equation. Very nice, very nice. Think one more quick one, because again, minimum day, short work. All right, very similar. 3x subtract 4y. Be careful of the negative 4y. And this time we've got a -12 on the right side. So move the x, step 1. Be careful of that -4y. Don't try and combine the -12 and the -3x. Those are unlike terms. My 7th graders are going to be learning about combining like terms. You already know how to combine like terms. -4y equals -3x subtract 12. Only 2 steps, remember? Move the x, then divide. Let's divide. -4 divided by -4, positive y, y equals. That's what we want. Look at the x part. A negative divided by negative, well, that's another positive slope. 3/4, cannot reduce that. At the back, negative divided by negative, positive 3. So my slope is positive, means it's going uphill again. Not an improper fraction, so not steep. And y-intercept is 0, 3. So very similar to what we just did, I'm going to go ahead and make my line. Starting point is at 0, 3. So origin, don't go left or right, go up 3. Not too bad. Then according to my work, my slope is 3/4. So I'm going to count up 3, right 4. So let's see. From here, the beginning point, up 1, 2, 3, right 1, 2, 3, 4. Very nice. Do it again. Up 3, 1, 2, 3, right 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now, one of the biggest issues I have with some students in their graphing is they know it's supposed to be a positive slope, but their line's going downhill. That usually doesn't happen. Usually it's the other way. They know it's a negative slope, but they make their line going uphill when it's really supposed to be going downhill. So be really careful. That's why I talked about at the very beginning, oh, it's a positive slope going uphill, and it's not too steep. Again, backwards counting if you like. Down 1, 2, 3. Left 1, 2, 3, 4. Right there. Gives me a line, which would be right there. Beautiful. Arrows, original equation. Nice. So you should notice that you don't have a ton of problems for your assignment when you begin it. Again, if you have any questions, ask for help. All right, be awesome.